Alright, welcome guys. Kicking off the show a few minutes early. Just going to do a little pre-show for a couple of minutes. Wait for you guys to get onto the line. Alright, so talking about the 3 pillars to scale up your business today. It's going to be a good action-packed episode for an hour. And just going to get some notes up here ready. All right, okay guys, so we're going to go ahead and get started in about a minute or so. So we are talking about the 3 pillars to grow your revenue to $500,000 a year or even a 7-figure revenue if that's what you're looking for. So if you're making anywhere between 5, 10, 15, 20,000 a month right now, and you're looking to kind of double that or triple or quadruple that, this is going to be a great show for you today. So let's go ahead and get straight into it. It's coming up to 7 right now, so let's go ahead and get straight into this. Just going to bring up this here. All right, okay, so we're going to show you today, how coaches, professionals, experts can do this, how to scale up, get a $500,000 or a 7-figure revenue a year, but also to do it without all the hustle and grind and being overly stressed and all that kind of stuff too. It doesn't mean it's going to be easy by any means, but it's going to be a lot smoother and it can be a lot better and faster than you think it can. So this is going to be perfect for any coaches, trainers, experts. If you're a fitness coach, health coach, nutritionist, relationship coach, self-development expert, or even anyone in any professional services, like real estate or a lawyer or a dentist or anything, or osteopath, anything like that, it's going to be great for as well. So, I remember my business back in the day. I remember being overworked. I remember being burned out, doing all the tasks myself. I was doing all the lead generation, doing all the sales, making all the content, trying to post on 20 different platforms at one time, then trying to serve customers, and then trying to get networks, trying to get connections, trying to do all that stuff. And it just never ended up working out for me, doing it all alone. I got caught in the time for money trap. And, I had the typical solopreneur schedule. You'd be up at 6 a.m. in the morning, working with clients straight away, remembering to eat during the day, if you could squeeze it in somewhere. If you remember to eat, that is. In my spare time, I was making up websites. I was trying to learn email marketing, trying to learn copywriting, trying to learn how to do webinars. All these things that people tell you that you've got to learn to do. I tried doing it all, and my business just felt like a deck of cards waiting to collapse on top of me, which it did, and many of you guys know my story. You'll know that it definitely did. That actually happened. And, I sacrificed my health a lot. I sacrificed a lot of relationships, personal relationships, friendships, all in the name of keeping that business ticking over, just keeping it going. And overall, whilst it produced decent income, I had no freedom, I had no life because of that. I was just stuck in another job. And the worst thing is there was no way to scale it up. There was no way to really scale it up beyond that. And that's where I got really stuck with everything and didn't know where to go next. And so what happened is, for those, I'll give you the very, very quick version. The business came down overnight. I had to return back to the UK. Had a very ill family member over there, so I had to pack up my things. I spent 9 to 10 months back in the UK. The family were okay, everyone was healthy again, but I realized I never had a business. It was only a job that depended on me. And that's when I vowed, from that time onwards, I would never again build a business that solely relied all on me to do all the work. So that's when I started realizing and looking into what makes a real business. What do the guys like Tony Robbins do? Or, how was like Apple built, or Starbucks, or big companies like that serve thousands and thousands of people and don't rely on any particular one person. And I wanted to know how this could be applied into coaching, training, consulting businesses. So I started researching people like Tony Robbins, who has dozens and dozens of coaches, and so on, right? And I did eventually come up with what we call the unsexy system that transforms your hustle into a real business and gives you more freedom, scale, and impact to reach more people. And I say that it's an unsexy system because it's not made up of the tasks that we want to do. It's not usually made of the tasks that we look for the shortcuts. But, these are the steps, the 3 pillars I'm going to talk about in today's show, really is the unsexy system to grow a business that does all that. So, first of all, I just want you to imagine this, right? Because this is who it's for. Just imagine that you never had to worry about cash flow issues. You never had to worry about tight profits at the end of the month. Never had to worry about paying off people. Imagine that your business is cash rich, you've got plenty of capital reserves, and you're insanely profitable, right? Imagine being able to leverage your time so the business works and grows with less of your involvement, so you can spend more time with your kids, your family, your partner, or just on yourself with your health and your spirituality. Imagine your business being able to keep scaling up, again, with less involvement from you, but now you get to impact the lives of hundreds or thousands of clients that you couldn't do before. Now, not only does that make a bigger impact, but you better know that gives you a heck of a good income too. And imagine just having a lifestyle business finally, one that is designed around your lifestyle, one that works for you instead of you being a slave to it. That's what we're talking about here. And this is the system that's allowed me to grow numerous coaching businesses, offline businesses, online businesses, in the health industry, in personal development, in B2B marketing consulting. And it's also I've done the same thing with high 6-7 figure clients of mine and help them really keep scaling up and get their time and energy back. So I know it's definitely going to work the same for you. So the 3 pillars that we're going to talk about today. The first one, let's get straight into the very first one. The first pillar out of the 3 we're going to talk about is you need to have what I call the 7-figure mindset. Okay, now this doesn't mean mindset as in positive thinking and wishing everything's going to work. It's a lot deeper than that. I'm talking about the mindset where you look at your beliefs, your attitudes, and your intentions, because all the strategies that you do, all the actions that you take, they're all dependent on your mindset, right? They're all dependent on the beliefs and the identity that you're holding for yourself. And there's a big difference between the way a struggling, time for money coach who's burned out acts and thinks compared to a business owner or a coach like a Tony Robbins who's scaling up, achieving more people, making it seem effortless and easy. There's a big difference, not just in the actions, because everyone wants to look for the actions. They say, what's he doing? What's she doing? What's her strategy? It's not always about that. It's actually about the mindset first, because how you think will determine how you act. And if you take on a strategy or something, but you don't change the mindset behind it, that strategy is not going to work out for you, because you're going to not do it consistently, you're going to self-sabotage, and it's just going to revert back to where you were. So remember that the first thing to remember is what got you to 6 figures will not necessarily get you to 7 figures. That's the first thing, all right? Now, the really important thing here is the big distinction that I see between the self-employed solopreneurs, we call them, people that work totally on their own, do it all themselves, is what we call a solopreneur. Now, the solopreneur is typically defined with some of the following traits. Okay, the solopreneur makes decisions based on ego, not on logic, not on strategy. So think about this. If you're stuck trading time for money, look out for these traits. Are you making decisions, are you setting goals based on ego, based on comparison with other people, based on what you think is possible, not what's actually possible? Okay, think about what you charge per session. Is that really a strategic pricing decision, or is it just based on what you think you can charge because you're comparing yourself against other people, or even comparing against yourself? That's a decision based on ego. That's what the solopreneur does. The solopreneur will always trade time for money. They believe they're selling their time, and they believe the clients want to buy their time. The solopreneur is always reactive. They're reactive to tasks, and they're always putting out fires. It's like they're chasing their tail, and they've just got a long list every day of fires they've got to put out in the business. And that's what the solopreneur does. They are reactive daily. They wake up into the drama and the stress of the day, and they let it control them. They don't seize the day seizes them. And so if you're being reactive, you're not leading, you're not in front, you're being pushed around by the task list, by the other circumstances. And so you never get to move beyond that. You never move anything forward, and nothing changes. Everything stays the same. Okay, the self-employed solopreneur, another trait, they insist on doing it alone. They don't want to grow a team. They want to try and do it all themselves. They don't think anyone can do it like them. You see, this is not just about the actions, it's about the beliefs behind the actions. Beliefs are what determine your actions or inaction. So self-employed solopreneurs try and do it all alone. Why? Because they don't believe people can do it like them, or they don't believe they can find good people, or they don't believe they can afford people. They think, the solopreneur also, another trait, they think short term. They think about only 30 days ahead, and that's because the solopreneur is self-employed. They actually have an employee mindset, and the employee generally is focused only on the next 30 days of the month, because they just want to get their paycheck, they want to pay all their bills. They look at things as a month-to-month basis because they know they have outgoings each month, and they want to make sure they have enough incoming each month. And so, again, they're just reacting to the 30-day calendar, and there's nothing ever changes beyond that. That's why nothing ever changes for them. That's why they're stuck on this hamster wheel. Another trait of a solopreneur is that they are focused generally on what they can get. And they just want to get the money, get the clients, get the leads. They're focused on what are they losing each month. They're focused on what am I getting out of this. They focus on what they think they're entitled to, okay, rather than what they could give in terms of value. So overall, the solopreneur is scarcity minded. Whether they realize or not, they are, because if you're stuck trading time for money, this is a massive indicator that you are being scarcity minded and you're focused on what you can get or what you're going to lose, rather than what you can give and what you can gain. So you are going to remain stuck in this position if you do not address the beliefs, the thoughts, the identity behind your actions. You can try and change all your actions all you like. I could give you actions. I could give you more than actions. I could give you a marketing funnel. I could give you a business system. I could give you access to my 12-month mentoring program. But if you don't change the mindset and the identity behind it, you're either not going to take the actions, or you will start the right actions, but you will not do them consistently. You will self-sabotage. You will just not do them. Or you will do them with less enthusiasm. And that would mean they probably would end up not working for you anyway. Because it all starts with the mindset and how you perceive something, and if you put excitement or if you do something out of fear. That's going to determine largely the result of that strategy. So when you see the successful people that you want to emulate and you think, oh, if only I had their strategy, if only I could do what they're doing. It's not about what they're doing so much. It's about the intention, the mindset behind what they're doing. Okay? So what you need to change to instead, okay? The first pillar is to change the mindset around this. Okay, and you want to adopt the mindset or the identity of the business owner and the entrepreneur. So we change from a hustler to a leader, from an employee to a business owner, from solopreneur to entrepreneur. Now, from studying some of the world's leading entrepreneurs, from studying people like Elon Musk, people like Richard Branson, people like Tony Robbins, people like Oprah Winfrey, Steve Jobs, any of these big entrepreneurs, you will see that they have a very different set of beliefs and a very different mindset. Okay, so here are some of the traits that entrepreneurs, pure entrepreneurs, people that have learned to take the shift to be a business owner and have a lot of success. So the people that have the success you're looking for, they tend to think like this. The first trait of a true entrepreneur, they make decisions based on a powerful, clear vision. Okay, it's not based on ego. It's not based on what's in here. Okay, they're making a decision based on the vision they've created. They've created a powerful, compelling, crystal clear vision of what they want their life to look like, what they want the business to look like, sometimes even what they want the market or the world to look like once they've achieved what they want to achieve. And that's what pulls them in the direction of what to do. The entrepreneur, another trait, they always leverage their time and they sell results. Okay, they don't sell time, they sell results. They leverage their time, which gives them a lot more freedom. Another trait of the entrepreneur is that they are creative and proactive. They build systems to put out the fires. So you remember the solopreneur wakes up and he or she is reactive to the tasks. They put out the fire themselves. But the entrepreneur is creative and creates systems and procedures and documentation to make sure that that fire is put out and is then put out automatically or by somebody else by following the system. So they only put out the fire once. The entrepreneur also insists on growing and leading a team, even if it's a small one. There is no entrepreneur I know who makes 7 figures plus and they did it all on their own. Nobody achieves success like that all on their own. They may even have a team of only 1, 2, or 3 people. But there's no way you can do everything alone and have the speciality and the time and the focus and the energy to take it to a 7-figure level. No way. Because that would mean you'd have to be running all the marketing, all the web building, all your funnel creation, all your product creation, all your fulfillment with the clients, all your admin work, all your finances, all your sales. Okay, it's not going to happen on your own. You're going to get burned out and you're going to collapse before you get near that level. Everyone that succeeded did it by growing and leading a team. Another trait of the entrepreneur, they think long term, where the company could be in 1 to 5 years. So the solopreneur, trading time for money in the hustle, is only thinking every 30 days. So nothing changes, nothing stretches. The entrepreneur is thinking about where he or she could be in a year from now, in 5 years from now. And so they think long term, better ideas come to them, they play the long game, and they build something sustainable. Another trait of the entrepreneur, they're focused on what value their company can give to people. Whereas the solopreneur is focused on what they can take. The entrepreneur is focused on delivering massive value. Value to their clients, value to their team members, value to their shareholders, value to themselves in terms of more free time and energy and prioritizing aspects of their life, and also value to the wider community. It's no coincidence that you see all the top entrepreneurs, the Richard Bransons, the Elon Musks, the Tony Robbins, they all have some kind of community contribution, charity-based projects going on, okay? Because they want their company to be a vehicle for good in the society, and that's no accident. Overall, the entrepreneur is a lot more abundance-minded. He or she thinks about what's there, they believe in themselves, they believe in their product, they believe in their vision, and they want to grow and build a team, and they believe in that team. That's the difference. So you might want to go back and watch this again and take notes on those traits I just outlined, because that really is the first pillar in all of this. Getting that 7-figure mindset, because no matter what strategies I give you next, you will not be able to apply them, or you will not apply them consistently, or you will not apply them effectively if or until the mindset is dialed in. That's why this is the most important part. So let's say you've got that dialed in. Let's say you're going to work on that, and it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be happening over a period of time. In fact, you're always working on it. You're going to work on your mindset every day. It's like if you want to get your body in shape. You can't, you don't say, I went to the gym once, right? No, you've got to keep going every day. You don't feed yourself nutrients once. You've got to keep doing it. It's a daily thing. It's a daily practice, because there are going to be times that are going to test you as an entrepreneur. And in those times, more than ever, is when you need to have that list of traits I just outlined for you. You need to have those traits in front of you and say, which identity am I going to choose today? Am I the solopreneur that acts like this, or am I going to be the entrepreneur that acts like this? And you have to have that list in front of you. Okay, so pillar number 2. Let's go into pillar number 2 then. Once you're working on that mindset, the second thing is now to create systems and processes. You need to systemize all your business. You need to turn the tasks that you're doing every day into repeatable, quantifiable systems that can be outsourced. This is the second pillar. Okay, you have to start by systemizing your business. You need a clear understanding of what your business is, how your business functions, and how it is broken up. Right? Because if you don't do this, if you don't distinguish and separate yourself from the business, you're going to keep looking at it from within. You've got to start looking at the business from a top-down view. You've got to look at the business. Like I have my org chart behind me here. I can look at my business from the top-down view. If I didn't have that, then all I see is myself, and I will be looking from within, and I'm looking at the ground. I'm not looking at where the business could be. And that's a big mistake that most coaches are making. Okay, so you need to start documenting, what your business is, first of all. What does it look like? An organizational chart is brilliant for that, by the way. And then we want to break down all the tasks of the business, and we want to turn those tasks into repeatable systems. Until you do that, you will not know how the business functions, you will not know what's taking up most of your time every day, and you will not be able to outsource or delegate any of those tasks. So it's pretty important, okay? So, think about it right now. Do you want to be busy, or do you want to be free? Because if you keep hustling as a solopreneur, you're going to earn more money, but you're going to lose more time. You're going to lose more freedom. And that's what I realized. Every time I was hustling for more clients, I would earn a bit more money, but I would lose a bit more freedom. And again, I think subconsciously that really stops you getting out there and getting your name out there, because you know that if you put your name out there and it works, you're just not going to have a life anymore. So you've got to make a decision at this point of which direction you want to go in, right? Do you want to work harder or work smarter? Do you want a job or do you want a business? You see, a solopreneur owns a job. An entrepreneur owns a system that works for him or her. And that's the difference. So it's time to choose, because you can't have it two ways. You see, I meet coaches and trainers all the time who have beliefs in both directions. They want more freedom. They want more time off. They want more scale. But they believe that they need to do all the work. They believe they need to do it themselves. They believe they can't afford help. They believe that hiring someone will be bad, not good. They believe they're not good enough. They believe they can't get the message out there. They believe that there's something they haven't got yet. You see where we're going with this? So you can't on one hand say, I want freedom, I want scale, I want this brilliant lifestyle, and at the same time turn around and say, but I'm going to do it all myself. It is not compatible. So it's time to make a choice. Stay the burned out solopreneur, or take the next step to become an entrepreneur, which is going to be first being aware of the mindset, and then secondly, beginning to look at the business overall and start to break down the tasks. This is what we have to do. So why exactly do the coaches and experts stay burned out and stuck? Well, there's a few reasons for this, okay? And again, it's mostly the mindset, right? Because it's not the actions necessarily. I'll list out a couple of the actions, the mistakes they make. But remember, it's not the actions themselves. It's the mindset of why they're taking these actions in the first place. So, 3 main reasons why coaches and experts stay burned out and stuck. Number 1, they're getting busy taking on more clients because they just chase the revenue and think, I need money, I need money, I need money. And so they sacrifice all their time. And they think they'll make up their time somewhere else, but it doesn't end up that way. So they have no long-term plan for the business. Secondly, they're trying to be a full-time coach, a full-time marketing person, a full-time salesperson, a full-time manager, a full-time admin person, and basically they're not using automation and they're not using people to help them. So that's a big mistake. And again, it's not the action, it's the mindset behind the action. You've got to really think about, why are they doing these things, or why are they not doing these things? And the third big reason that coaches stay burned out and stuck is because they fall into the drama of the day. They fail to build systems and they fail to then track those systems, which would remove them from putting out all the fires all the time. So here are some tips. I'm going to list off a few bullet points of how to escape the time for money trap and create more systems in your business. I'm going to run through a quick list. We haven't got time to go into all of these things. I will be teaching these aspects on our luxury retreat in Cyprus, actually, coming up on April 29th. So if you want more information about our luxury retreat, where we're going to go into in-depth on all these following points and everything we've covered on this live stream, then send me a message or drop a comment and let us know. But here are some tips to get you started, okay? These are some of the things you need to start thinking about being aware of and systemizing in order if you want more freedom from your business. Number 1, what do you want for your life? This is a big one. Most coaches and trainers forget that the ultimate goal of all of this is to create a lifestyle for yourself. A certain amount of disposable income, a certain amount of free time, a certain amount of physical mobility, right? What do you want for your life? Put the business aside. What do you want to do each day? Where do you want to live? Where do you want to wake up? What do you want to do? Who do you want to do it with? Think about these things, because if you don't have a goal for your lifestyle, then you'll just end up sacrificing it all away to work. And you'll just be in the business every single day because you don't realize that the business is not the goal. Your lifestyle is the goal. Your business is the strategy to achieve that lifestyle goal. Does that make sense? And most coaches don't understand this, or I mean they do understand it, but they've just forgotten about it completely. They've got so lost in the daily grind, they've lost awareness of why they're even doing these tasks to begin with. So the first thing you need to do is create a personal vision to keep the ultimate outcome in mind. Create a personal vision for what you want for your life. Don't let the business in its current state influence your goal here, because that is a decision based on ego, which the solopreneur tends to do. Don't think, well, I really want this for my life, but I don't see how that's going to happen. Or the business, I have to work 6-7 hours a day, so I can't really have that. Don't make your lifestyle goal what you think you have to settle for. Make the lifestyle goal what you truly want. And then, and only then, can you look at the business and say, right, now, how can the business be set up and specifically engineered to create that lifestyle for me? That's the thing. You didn't create a business just for the sake of having a job. Or maybe you did at some point, but now you know you want more freedom. You want to fuel a lifestyle. You want more wealth. You want freedom. So create a personal vision, first of all. And then secondly, create a business vision. Create a crystal clear architecture of what does your business need to look like in order for it to create that lifestyle for you. So if you said that you're in your personal vision statement that you get to travel the world. You get to travel first class wherever you want to. You want to live in a 5-bedroom mansion. You want to drive sports cars. You want to have $50,000 a month put aside in savings for your family, right? If that's the kind of thing you want, then that gives us an idea of what the business needs to ultimately look like. So, if you need 50,000 in just savings, right, then you probably need to be, the company might need to generate $100,000 or $200,000 a month, right? If you want to be able to travel around the world at the drop of a hat, then, you're going to need systems or people in place to deliver programs on your behalf, unless you find another way of doing it whilst you travel. If you don't mind working as you travel, that's fine. But you can't say, I'm going to spend 10 hours a day doing one-to-one calls, but what I really want is to travel the world backpacking. It's not that business strategy is not compatible with your lifestyle goal. So don't try and do that and then complain when your lifestyle isn't what you want it to be. It might look like that in the beginning, but if you know the personal vision, you know what you're working towards, that tells you, okay, I'm doing 10 hours a day right now, but only for a limited time. It cannot stay this way because I want to travel the world. Therefore, I know that my next task is going to be to outsource or eliminate these hours of work. And this is what keeps you focused and gets you momentum and keeps you on track. If you don't have that personal vision, then you'll just keep repeating tasks and you'll stay on the hamster wheel for no reason. And you'll have no motivation to stop doing it. You'll have no motivation to step off. So create the personal vision and then create the business vision. Next, get your financial foundations right. Set the correct financial goals, revenue goals, break-even goals, profit goals. Okay, you're growing a real business now. You have to start tackling the finances. You need to know, before you set any income goals, you want to look at what are your operating expenses going to be. Remember, if all you have is a job, if you're a solopreneur, then there probably are very few expenses. So you don't consider that. But if you want to grow a real company that's going to make 500 or even 500,000 or $1 million plus a year, it's going to cost you money to run that business. So the first thing you need to look at is look at that business vision you created, and then from there, ask yourself, right, what's it likely to cost to run that business every month? Right? And then as soon as you know that, that's the start of your financial target. So if it's going to cost you $10,000 a month in expenses, maybe you're going to hire 3 people, you're going to pay for advertising, you're going to, pay tax or whatever else is going to be. Maybe that comes to $10,000 a month in operating costs. So now you know, before you worry about an income goal, the first goal it's got to make at least $10,000 a month. A lot of coaches really drop the ball on this step because they never factor in their costs. So they'll say something like, I want to earn $20,000 a month. And then we lay out the business and what the business would have to look like to provide $20,000 and freedom for them. The operating costs might come to $10,000 a month. And then they're bummed out because they say, well, I'm only going to get 10,000 profit out of that. Right? And so their goal and their strategy was never created together in sync. Right? So get the foundational financial goals right from day one. Know how much it's going to cost before you determine what your income goal has to be. Okay? Because until you know what it's going to cost, you can't know what you have to earn. You have to do the operating costs first. And that's very different, and 99% of advisors don't tell you that. Mostly because they haven't done it themselves. Now, the next thing is, you then want to set clear and specific targets for each department of your company. So it helps at this point. At the moment, if you're just like a whirlwind of doing all the tasks yourself, the next thing you want to do is, break down the company into, I like 5 different departments. A marketing department, a sales department, a fulfillment department, you serve clients, a team building department, and an admin financial legal department, right? And when you start looking at those things, you then are able to start separating out the tasks that you're doing every day. You might not have people in those roles yet, that's fine, but the first step before the people is you have to know what are the differences between these departments. When am I doing marketing stuff? When am I doing sales stuff? When am I doing admin stuff? And you need to start separating out those tasks so you can see very clearly which department is taking the bulk of your time every day, and which department is draining your energy, and which department do you love working in, because that's the one you should keep doing for now, and you want to outsource the departments, the tasks that you don't enjoy and that you're not good at and that are taking up all your time and energy, right? So break up the business into departments and set specific targets, because when you have that big business vision, it should translate down into that each department has certain objectives to achieve, right? So if you want to make $1 million a year, maybe you determine that you set that the costs are going to be, let's say, $300,000 a year costs. So you decide that you need, you need to make $1 million a year, and you want to get a 40% profit margin. So you need, with your costs at 300K, you need to make $1 million, let's say, right? And now to make $1 million, you look at your product that you can scale, and maybe you decide that you're gonna sell, or to be like 100, or maybe 1,000. You're gonna sell 1,000 copies of a $1,000 product, let's say, to make $1 million revenue. So that's how you start breaking it down. Now we know, okay, sales targets. We've got to make 1,000 sales in a year. That's going to be about 100 sales a month. Right, to get 100 sales a month, how many leads do we need to generate? Okay, if we're going to generate that many leads, what's that likely to cost us in advertising? Right, and then fulfillment. If we're going to serve 1,000 customers, how are we going to do that? Okay, how are we going to keep our finger on the pulse? How are we going to know that the customers are happy in that kind of number? Right, we look at team goals. Team development, okay, to serve 1,000 customers or to get 100 leads a month, who am I going to need to get help from in advertising? Because you're probably not going to do it yourself. You might need a Facebook ads manager, let's say, or a sales copywriter to make 100 sales a month. Maybe you need a sales team. Maybe you need to build a webinar. For team development, or maybe also then to serve 1,000 customers, you need 2 more coaches or an apprentice coach. You see, when you start with the vision in mind, this is why entrepreneurs get ahead more than solopreneurs, because they have a vision in mind, they know what they want for their lifestyle, they know what the business needs to do, they translate it down into individual bite-sized goals, and then they know what they should be doing and what they should be delegating. And this is how they start getting momentum very rapidly. So let me know if you're enjoying this so far. If this is useful for you, give it a like, give it a share. Share this with another business owner that you know needs to watch this. Dropped so much gold for you already, and we've got plenty more to come. So let me carry on, okay? So first of all, these are the steps for pillar number 2, scaling and systemizing your business. Create a personal vision, create a business vision, set the foundations right, get the financial projections right, set clear objectives for each department in the company. Next, you want to now turn those individual tasks that you identify for each department and turn them into systems so you can begin to outsource them, right? So you've got to now take all the tasks you're doing and you need to turn them into instructions so that other people can potentially do them for you. So here's an example, or at least with a system, you'll be able to do it quicker yourself. So the best example, the best analogy for this is if you own a restaurant. If you own a restaurant and let's say you're a chef and you've built your own restaurant. And in fact, I'll give you a story. A good friend of mine owns a fantastic taverna out here in Cyprus. And he is a brilliant chef. People flock to him. He opened his kitchen about 8-9 years ago. He is fully booked. He's packed out. The money is coming in. However, for many, many years, he has trapped himself in the kitchen. Why? Because of all those solopreneur traits I listed earlier. No one else can do it like me. The people want me. The people want me to cook. Ego, right? And he's not an arrogant guy. It's just that's how the ego thinks. They think that you are the value. The ego tells you that you're the value, and if you aren't the person doing it, nobody's going to care. However, if we think of someone like Jamie Oliver or Gordon Ramsay, right? When you go to a Jamie Oliver restaurant, do you expect Jamie Oliver to be cooking your food in the kitchen? Of course not, right? Unless you want to pay a lot more money. So you go to the restaurant because of Jamie Oliver's name and brand, sure, but you don't actually expect him to be there cooking. So if someone with a brand name like Jamie Oliver, if they're that important and you don't expect them to be there and you pay regardless, then you and me have got nothing to worry about, right? Because we are not brand names to effect of Jamie Oliver. So what the heck are you worrying about? Your ego is putting nonsense in your way. People don't care about you and me that much. That's the harsh reality, but it's good news. They come for the result and the service that your company offers, regardless of the fact that you're the only one doing it right now. Okay? When you go into McDonald's to get a burger, you want the result. You want the predictable, cheap, easy, tasty burger. You don't walk into McDonald's and say, hey, before I order, is Dave in the kitchen today? I really like Dave's burgers. Right? It doesn't work like that because wherever you go in the world, any time of day, any place, any location, a McDonald's burger tastes like a McDonald's burger because it's a system. It's one of the most systemized businesses in the world. That's why it's so large. So it's the same with your business. We have to take on this into your business. So start breaking down all the tasks into systems, which can be checklists, templates, scripts, video tutorials, anything that can make it easier, like a recipe for someone else to follow. So back to my friend Costa, he now has been able to remove himself from the kitchen. We went in there for dinner the other night, and we were surprised to see him on the outside, talking to the customers, wearing a shirt, hanging out with the customers, right? And, he has now put a team in place, and he has given them his recipe, and a recipe is a system. He's taken the task of cooking and preparing food and written it down into a recipe, which says, here are the ingredients. Here's what you do. Do this for this long, at this temperature, in this way. And it's written down. So with a recipe, with a system, now, first of all, other people can deliver the recipe for him. But also, here's where it gets really smart. Now, he could actually create a recipe book, which is what? A product. You see, any coach that makes a product, if Tony Robbins makes a product, if Rob Kiyosaki makes a product, if Les Brown makes a product, it's just a recipe. They've put what they do into a recipe. That's what my product is. My Expert Business Blueprint program is a step-by-step recipe for doing all this stuff. All these things I've covered so far, we go into full depth in the program and show you exactly how to do every single one and give you the systems, the checklists, the templates and the scripts to quickly model and duplicate them for your business. So you need to turn tasks into systems, okay? Create the recipe. What is the recipe book of your business? Then the next thing you need is a team building strategy. Remember, you're not going to do this alone. Nobody gets to 7 figures really doing it all alone. So think about who do you need to hire first, and by when, and why, and what are you going to pay them, or are you going to barter with them? You need a team building strategy, and that's going to include how do you attract potential team members? How do you convert or recruit or choose or interview potential team members? Once you've chosen a team member, how do you onboard them into your business? How do you, let them feel comfortable and welcome and supported inside your business? And then how do you develop and progress and ascend that team member to give them more responsibilities, to make them a more vital asset to your company? And how do you then show appreciation and reward to that team member? right? So there's a few basic systems you need in place there. An attraction system for your team, a recruitment system, an onboarding system, a developmental system, and an appreciation system. You also then need a performance review system. How are you going to review that they're actually doing the jobs and creating the output that you wanted them for originally? All right, you're going to need all those factors in place. And inside my Expert Business Blueprint program, we have full systemization on how to do all that. So once you've got that in place, the next thing you need, if you want to go to $500,000 or even $1 million a year revenue, is you need to create a time-leveraged or automated service or product. So the way you serve customers has to change. You know that you can't keep doing one-on-one sessions yourself, right? There's a limit to that, unless you're charging about $2,000 every single hour. So at this point, the critical thing you need here, because you can have all the rest of the things in place, systems, team building systems, but if your product isn't leverageable, you haven't got a real business around it. So you need to create something time leveraged, which means you either move into a group coaching program, or maybe you build something like a membership site, or there's many different ideas. Or it needs to be something automated, like a full-on info product or a course that can be sold and delivered with no coaching, no additional support. Or you can do a combination of both. However, you need at least one scalable service or product. So this means you either need to have a product that is automated, or you need to delegate and train other experts, coaches, or consultants or speakers to deliver a coaching program on your behalf. Until you have one of those choices in place, you're not going to be able to scale. Because if we just send you a ton of customers, either those customers are not going to get served properly because you're too busy to work with them, or you just won't have the infrastructure to do it. And more customers with a bad infrastructure can actually cripple your business. So here's what I call the million customer test right now. Think about this. Think about this very, very carefully. Okay, don't foo-foo this. Think about this. If today me and you were sitting face to face, right? Just imagine this. And I said to you, let's assume I'm like a super influential person, like Oprah Winfrey or something. And me and you are chatting. And I say, you know what? I love what you're offering. I love what you do. I've got 1 million people that I know will buy it straight away as soon as I put a message out, as soon as I tweet it out or make an Instagram post or whatever. Right? Now, think about that. If I just said to you, in the next hour, I'm going to send 1 million buyers to you, what would happen? You would either become extremely wealthy or your business would collapse, right? Because I'm not going to give you the option of taking the payments. I'm going to give them the payment link to your course or product, and 1 million people are going to pay for it right now. Think about that, right? Suddenly what you think is your biggest dream could become your biggest nightmare. What if 1 million people actually did buy your program today? Would that destroy your business and put you on a nosedive because you couldn't fulfill all the orders? Or would it make you a millionaire overnight, right? We want to get you closer to the latter. So we want to be able for you to know that, hey, if 100 or 10 or 1,000 people signed up today or in the next month or two, it's okay, right? Maybe you need to get some support staff or stronger web hosting or something, but overall, you see what I mean. If you're just, if you're a one-to-one coach and you've got like 6 spots left, then there's no point you even chasing opportunities like that, because if you get them, you're going to be screwed. So what's the point? You need to create leverage in your service first of all. So if you want more help on this, I'm happy to help you flesh out and create, get your product into an online course or recipe that is largely scalable. And it can be high ticket too. Scalable doesn't have to mean low ticket. My program right now is $6,998. It's a $7,000 program and the price is going up soon. And yet I'm going to be taking on 150 new clients this year. My time cost does not go up, right? They do get coaching, but we have team members helping them. We have systems helping them. We deliver some information to them. We do group coaching calls with multiple people on the line at once, right? Conference calls. So people in my program do get one-on-one help. They do get group mentoring. They do get online information they can use in their own time. And so I'm able to sell high-ticket programs at scale. And that, I think, is the sweet spot for most people. But it can also be low-ticket, all right? Next, you then need an automatic marketing funnel that will capture, nurture, and convert leads into customers for you. You need an automated marketing system. See, marketing automation isn't just a nice-to-have thing. It's not just for some internet marketers. It's needed because most coaches I meet are wasting 90% of their time hustling for new leads. And when you're spending 90% of time on looking for new prospects, you're ignoring the clients that have already paid you money and are waiting for you. So what happens is you spend all your time focused on more leads, posting 15 times a day on Facebook, posting around Facebook groups. And what happens is, and the customers you do have leave because there's no atmosphere, there's no culture, there's no results, there's no caring. And that puts you into panic mode. So you then start looking for more leads, right? Which caused the problem to begin with, right? Give that a like or a love and share that if you know that's the truth, if you've seen that in people, right? So you do need an automatic system. You need an automatic system. This is not a nice to have, it's an essential to have for any real business. You think Apple as a company or Starbucks don't use automated marketing systems? You think like Steve Jobs, when he was alive, was out there like knocking door to door trying to sell iPhones? Of course not, right? You want to focus on product creation, product optimization, networking, big ticket tasks, like big profitable tasks. And things like marketing, content, and sales can be automated or outsourced pretty quickly. Then you want to use Facebook ads and other pay-per-click methods to automate your traffic generation into that funnel. So you have an automatic funnel, and then you want to use as much paid traffic as you can afford to pay Facebook, pay Google, pay YouTube, pay LinkedIn, pay Instagram, and pay these platforms to say, hey, send all the right traffic into my funnel. So the social media platforms or the pay-per-click platforms, they're doing all the heavy work for you. And they're sending people into the funnel that you build once and works for you 24/7 a day, right? 24/7, 6 days a week. This is literally the blueprint for how I grow my businesses and get more freedom and health, okay? So it's a bit more work up front to put these systems into place, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it in the long term because then you get to bring on team members and plug them into your systems. You get to bring on clients in mass and plug them into your systems. You get to create content and plug it into your marketing system, right? And this is how things go a lot further. And, I can give you so many case studies of clients, that have done this. A couple of ideas here, right? There's Matt Sutton, for example, one of our clients in the program who was going to launch a gym facility for the first time, right? And I've got a message from him right here saying, 12 months later after working with Justin, I'm working half the hours, earning double the income, and I'm currently enjoying spending time with my wife and newborn baby. We've got, Luis Ramos, another client in our program, who says he invests about $90 a month and gets around 10 new signups to his membership site. He has a evergreen 100% autopilot online membership site business, and it's growing by about $2,000 a month. Okay, we've got Keith Dean, another nice fella who runs an SEO agency, did my program, and he wanted to grow to about $50,000 revenue a month, and he wanted enough money so his wife could leave her job and work with him and have more time with her. And that's what they actually did. And his wife was able to give her notice from the job she hates and now they've gone to Barbados, they have more holidays, and the business is still growing, but it doesn't mean headaches or hassle for Keith anymore. Another one is, Peter Sabo, really cool friend of mine. He had a has a 6-figure a month Facebook ads agency. He's a world-leading expert with Facebook ads. So he had no problem. Peter had no problem at all getting customers, right? But what he thought was going to be his biggest dream turned into his biggest nightmare, because he realized he didn't have the systems and the infrastructure in place to support all those clients or to support the fast growth. So he was getting pulled into the business, he was getting trapped in it, he was putting out fires all day. He spent a bit of time with me, he went through my program modules, and within a week, he was able then to remove himself out of the business, put the right systems in place, put the right people in place, and now since then, he hasn't spent a minute working in the business. He's been traveling around Malaysia with his girlfriend, working on the business, of course, but doing only the tasks that he loves, high-level strategy, vision, content marketing, and stuff that makes a lot more money for the company. And that brings us to pillar number 3. So pillar number 1 was the mindset, transitioning from solopreneur thinking to entrepreneur thinking. Secondly, you need to systemize your business and go through the checklist of things I talked about. And number 3, the third pillar, is, we already mentioned this actually, you need a consistent and automated flow of new clients coming in. You can't afford to spend 90% of your time hustling for new leads every day. It's desperate, it's pathetic, it takes all your time, and it's not a good investment for you. So you need a consistent and automated flow of new clients, right? So what you need in place, okay, you should never scale up. Here are 3 things you need in place before you attempt to scale. Coaches that attempt to scale without these 3 things in place have destructive consequences. Okay, so what are the 3 things you need? Number 1, you need the systems and the infrastructure to support and serve a flow of new clients. We already talked about this. You need a scalable service. You need systems in place, so if you do let customers in mass, you're able to serve them effectively and they still get the results they expect. Secondly, you need a consistent, reliable, and automated lead generation machine or a lead generation system. Because again, if you don't have that in place, if you try and scale up, you try and grow your team, you expand your locations, you want to launch a new program, if you try doing that, but you don't have a consistent system sending you new leads each month that you can control, you can turn up or turn down or turn off and on, then you're going to put yourself into panic mode. The last thing you want to do is launch a program or expand your business or take on a bunch of team members until you've got a consistent lead system working for you. And the third thing you've got to have in place before you can scale is a content strategy, a content marketing strategy to be seen everywhere to your market and to position you as a strong brand, an expert and authority in the eyes of your marketplace. So if you reverse engineer those steps, you put a content marketing plan out there, people start seeing your content everywhere, you establish yourself as an expert, people expect to pay you higher fees, you then have a consistent, reliable, automated lead generation system that pulls the most engaged of those people in, gives them more value, converts them into customers, and then you have the systems and the infrastructure to serve and support those customers to the best of your ability. If you try and scale up before you have those 3 things in place, you're going to nosedive your company in record speed. So make sure you have those 3 things in place. Okay, so basically, that's what you need. That's the 3 pillars that you're going to need in place. Okay, how it'll look basically, the automated marketing system. I'm not going to go into all the details here, but ultimately you want multiple traffic sources. You want to get your content seen on multiple platforms. And we do this by repurposing our content. So I'll make a video like this one, and then my team are going to repurpose this. They're going to turn this into a bunch of articles. They're going to clip out little videos and put them as little 2 to 3 minute video clips. They're going to then post those videos and texts and images around multiple websites. It's going to go onto LinkedIn, Instagram, my Facebook page, my Facebook profile, Instagram, YouTube, medium.com, right? Kindle, iTunes, SoundCloud. We can strip out the audio, right? So you can be seen on like 9, 10, 11 different platforms by only making one piece of content a week and then getting it repurposed. Either get a team to help you with it, or maybe you can do it yourself. Not that complicated, right? But that's the thing we do. We don't rely on one platform. We want to be seen on multiple channels because there's different audiences in different places. And not only that, you also want to appeal to the same audience that frequent different platforms, because there's a powerful effect, a powerful brand called brand familiarity. When somebody keeps seeing you on multiple platforms, you know, for example, right now, maybe you're on Facebook right now and you're watching this live stream. And you think, cool, great. Then you go to Instagram and you're flicking through Instagram, and then you see a 2-minute video clip of this on your Instagram feed. And you're like, oh, it's that Justin guy again, okay. And then you go to LinkedIn, and then you see maybe like a transcribed article of mine on LinkedIn. And then you go to YouTube, and before your video loads up, you get an in-stream video ad from me with another 2 minutes of content. And then maybe you go to medium.com and you see that I've made an article on Medium, right? And on and on and on it goes. And I haven't even touched on the Google Display Network yet, which means you can get your content shown on hundreds of other websites, and Google will do it all for you, right? We cover all this in the program, how to be seen on hundreds of different websites. And they're all trickling prospects back to you from different audiences. But also the people that are on multiple platforms keep seeing you. So they get more and more familiar with you, and eventually they'll take action. And they will then come from the social media platform or from the content platform. They will come into your conversion funnel. Now your conversion funnel, we want to keep this very simple. Your conversion funnel, when they come back to your website, it's going to offer them more value, and it will also offer them what I call a conversion mechanism. A conversion mechanism. A conversion mechanism is another piece of content or something that you offer them that does two things. Well, there's three things, okay? A conversion mechanism, to be effective, it needs to do these three things. Number one, it will give people real value. It will give them real value, first of all. They will learn something. They will experience something. They will gain something from it, whether they buy or not. The second thing a conversion mechanism can do is it needs to give them an experience of what it's like to be your customer, right? And this is different from the first step, because it means that, like, for example, I could put a piece of content out, like an article that gives value, but does an article give someone an experience of my mentoring program? Not really. So it needs to be something that replicates or is like a teaser or a demonstration or a snippet of your actual program. So if you run a coaching program, then give them something. Maybe you do a group coaching program with a weekly group conference call. Then your conversion mechanism would ideally be something that replicates that. Maybe it will be a sample group coaching call or a one-session pass to a group coaching call where they can actually get value and experience what it's like to be your customer. Think of a test drive, right? It's like Ferraris don't give you an article or a PDF about Ferraris. They give you the keys and say, take it for a test drive. That's the best way to get someone to become a customer. Let them try it out. And this way, you don't have to be a hard Wolf of Wall Street salesperson. No, the cool thing about this is you let the product sell itself. If your product and service is that good and you give someone a demonstration or a trial, it should sell itself, right? That's what Apple did with the iPhone. The product is the marketing and the marketing is the product because it's that remarkable. Is your service that remarkable? Something to think about. And the third thing it needs to do, the conversion mechanism needs to make a blatant offer for them to work with you. It needs to give them the opportunity to become a paying customer, or at least take the next step, whether it's to book a phone call or submit an application or whatever it might be. But you need to do that. You can't just give someone a good content, give them an experience, and then be like, okay, thanks, bye, right? Because they're not going to just throw credit cards at you. You still need to ask for the sale. And so it's your job, it's your responsibility, it's your duty to give people the opportunity to buy from you. And that's what your conversion mechanism does. And so you have all the traffic coming into this, you give them that conversion mechanism, and you get new clients. Okay? And you also want to set up a retargeting system for the people that come through but don't buy the first time, or they try it and say, not right now, not for me, thanks. You want to have a new system in place that's retargeting those people and offering them follow-up content and follow-up opportunities to become a customer, because that's where some of your most profitable traffic is going to be. The people that said not yet, they're on the fence. But we covered that in a previous live stream, so I'm not going to go into that again. But pretty much there you have it, guys. That is the 3 aspects. That is the 3 pillars that you need to have in place. The 7-figure mindset, the systemization of your business, and then an automated marketing system. And if you'd like to learn more about this and you'd like to do all of this and you'd like to implement this into your business and plug it all in over the next 12 months with me as your personal guide and mentor, I would be very happy to consider working with you. So all you need to do is reach out, send us a message, tell me you're interested in our 12-month Expert Business Blueprint mentoring program. You're going to get 12 months of coaching with us. You're going to get a one-on-one call with me to map out your business plan together. So me and you will map out your 12-month business plan. We'll map out all your goals. We'll map out your personal vision. We'll create the architecture, what your business is going to look like, and we'll help you set targets. So you'll walk out of the call with me knowing how many leads you need, how many sales you need, what team members you're going to need, by when, and so on and so on. Then, every month, you're going to get ongoing one-on-one mentoring with a business coach. Someone with real-world experience, growing real businesses, and they're going to pass that knowledge on to you. And you're going to be held accountable to your plan that we create in the beginning, and you're also going to be held and guided through any sticking points. So you keep momentum going, no matter what, one-to-one. On top of that, in this program, you're also going to get weekly group coaching calls. In fact, I'm going to wrap this up right now because I'm about to start a group mentoring call with the gang in the mastermind. They're going to be waiting on the line for me. And right now, I'll be chatting to those guys in a small group on Zoom. They're going to present to me their wins for the week, their challenges for next week, their targets, and I'm going to help them all with whatever they need and help them keep moving forward so they have clarity and direction and drive. And then you get 1 year of access inside our private mastermind group where I hang out every day. I give great value to the guys. We go deeper into these concepts. I show them behind the scenes of my business and show them my numbers and how it all works. And also there's other 6- and 7-figure earners in that group at a similar level to share their knowledge too. So that's the EBB mentoring and mastermind program. If you're interested in finding out more, send us a message or drop a comment below, message above, comment below, or wherever you're seeing this video. I would be happy to help you out and chat to you first of all to see if it's right for you. We don't accept everybody, but we'll get to know you and your business, see if we can help, and if it's a good fit, we'll give you an invitation. But if not, we'll part as friends without any problem. No sales hassle, no hard selling at all. All right, guys. Well, anyway, this has been a great show. Thanks for watching. Make sure to share this on, like and subscribe our page, and stay tuned every week. We've got a new episode coming at you, and this show is just going to get better and better and better and better. All right, hope you'll enjoy the 1-hour format, and I'll see you guys soon. I'm going to hop on a mentoring call with my guys in the mastermind. I'll see you again. Thanks for tuning in.